Sorry.
It's okay.
Is that...
The Matrix? Yeah.
Do you always look at it encoded?
Well, you have to. The image translators work for the construct program. But there's way too much information to decode the Matrix. You get used to it. I don't even see the code. All I see is blonde, brunette, redhead.
Excellent!
So here, let's start it off proper. Where's that thing at?
Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve. Get in, sit down, buckle up. Cruising with Steve.
Woo! Cruise with Steak. Live. Grimerca.ca/FM. We're here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Cruising with Steak.
Yeah,
So,
we are back.
We got a nice little roundtable here tonight. You know, James Cruz, the man, the myth, the legend.
I am here. What's up?
He's here.
Technically, it's a pentagon.
Yeah,
Oh, it is a. Hey, that's true.
it is a pentagon.
And of course, we have Jerry.
Greetings, Earthlings.
We have Mr. Felix Ortega. Pseudo James.
Pseudo James.
Pseudo James Cruz. He's
And
in the
Mr.
house, no doubt.
Mr. Adam Loyal down there.
Oh, Adam Loyal from Cat in the Box. He's
Cat in
hanging
the box.
tonight.
Woo. Which we just had.
Florida's Wang.
And then Florida's Wang. Yeah.
Or America's Wang.
About to not get hit by a hurricane.
Are there Dude, are there hurricanes down there going on right now?
Hurricane Gordon.
Bye. Today's been nice, but yeah, yesterday was last couple of days were pretty blustery.
If you listen to the what does he call himself? The Watchman, the Earthman, Earth's Watchman, whatever.
Oh, the dude that
Mr.
does the weather, or space weather stuff, or
No, it's regular weather. But he's looking at the null school radar. He's saying there's going to be like more than 10 inches of rain, like 4 to 6 inches per hour as this thing passes.
It could be bad. They don't prepare well for storms like this in that part of the country, so it's all infrastructure and land.
The model I saw earlier showed that it was a tropical storm all up until it hit land, made landfall, and then it turned into a hurricane, like right at the shore.
Are they running simulations?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yo, check this simulation though. Like I saw this link on our we all hang out in Discord, everyone. So there is a link you can find us. That's where we hang out. That we got our own family growing. We got all the shows we listen to, all the guys you'll hear on the channel here on grimerca.fm/ or grimerca.ca/fm. There you go. But on this channel, man, everyone that's on here, everyone's got this Discord thing going. It's a huge family. But I was on OBDMs and there was a link for weather modification, and it was pinpointing to a radar, those big radar balls, the NexRads, and every one of these storms, dude, these Katrina and all of them, dude, go right into a NexRad and onto the NexRad.
Hello, I told you this last summer. I told you this.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I knew a guy back when I was a teenager who told me, so going back into the 90s, said that, inside of every single one of those things was all the snooping equipment to basically suck up all signals inside of the country. That one square little chunk of government land with that geodesic ball on top. Yeah.
Well, it has something to do with messing with the air, I think, like guiding these storms. But
no, it's deeper than that.
Deeper?
They have some of the HARP technologies in them.
Okay.
From what I heard this. And if you've been following Dark Journalist X series at all, the that shape and the electronics inside came out of some secret military basically the other side of MJ12 in Project Blue Book. Say that was the public facing stuff, the back facing, the Black Ops were development of those types of things.
The switcheroo changed the name. Yeah.
Pine Gap in Australia was one place where it was developed, I think.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. They were talking about the whole, like how water in the air is like more powerful than, you know, like the whole
Water in your diaper.
And well, no, man, there's the more water in the air, it has something to do with that, because they were talking about chemtrails and all this shit and
pressure systems.
Yeah, they were just going over these tables and the water tables that are being pushed out by like nuclear power plants, like all this stuff that's releasing more water into the atmosphere, basically, which is.
Do you guys ever consider, you know, all the water bottles that people use? A lot of times they'll put the bottle cap on top of the water bottle, and there'll still be water inside the plastic bottle.
You know, when you buy a pair of shoes and you've got that little packet that you says don't eat because it soaks up moisture. Mm-hmm. That's the problem with water. Yep. All the water has gone into shoe packets.
Well, yeah, and the water bottles, it can't circulate back into like the ecosystem.
Oh, yeah, so it's just gone from the water table completely.
That are capped. Man. So like every time
it's all left in the bottle.
No, because when that shit's shredded, the water will get out and evaporate.
Yeah, but doesn't it take like millions of years?
Yeah, it's going to take 10,000 years, Jerry. We got to melt the ice caps now. We need more bottled water.
Yeah, but they started 10,000 years ago too. So I mean, it's all a big. Don't panic.
I'm not panicking. I'm just considering it.
I'm panicking because do you know how many freaking like whole bottles of water that I've thrown out because I've left them in my car for like a week and then they get all hot and nasty and I'm like, I can't drink that plastic water now.
Dude, when I was a teenager, I would drink Gatorade bottles that had been in my car for like a week, half drank, and now I'm like, wait, like what have I done?
Now you're a superhero.
Now you're a superhero. Hey, I got a jingle that Felix made, so we're gonna
super melanoma.
We're gonna play this jingle right here.
Gator Man.
Beep, 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 boop, boop. Simulation theory. Don't forget to reformat your hard drive on your super computer. Simulation theory. Don't forget to back up your hard drive on your super quantum computer. Yeah.
Very nice, dude. Of course.
Of course.
Do your part. Back up the universe.
That's great.
That translates to hello, Jerry.
So we've hello,
you don't
Jerry
need
in binary.
Jerry. He speaks in binary.
No, I don't.
That'd be amazing. Just beeps and boops and zeros and ones.
I'm non-binary.
Ooh, I like that. I like what you did there.
I'm octal. I chose it the other day. Base 8.
Base 8.
Base 8.
Man.
Oh,
it's great. This is fun.
Yeah, we're just gonna hang out. Is it all simulation? Is this program?
It's all happening.
Well, we're going to be simulating together this weekend.
Yes, we are. Cryptid Con.
We're going to be creating a new universe.
It's going to be amazing.
James is going to bring his chunk of drywall so he can properly etch out and describe it.
Well, when you talk about
a pocket universe,
I hope so.
A drywall pocket universe.
Yes,
man.
Because what is in between when you think about this, the simulation theory. Like you're looking at something, but what is it actually? What is in between? What's in between this wall? Is it really drywall?
It could be, man. It's a grout,
but it's just a wall until you cut into it. Then you got to
just finally punch a hole through like the universe. It's just going to be drywall.
Right. It's just going to be a black hole on the other side. Yeah, it'd be like the cartoons where they pop a hole in the wall and just jump through it.
What'd you say?
You're talking like when someone cuts into a tree, they say if it is the simulated theory that the insides of the tree is not there until you actually approach the inside of the tree. Then the simulation can aggregate what the inside of a tree would look like, right?
Oh, well, is that kind of like the whole thing where does a tree make a sound in the woods if it falls and nobody's around to hear it?
It basically is just the efficiency of the simulation is that it's only processes what's visually there. So if you don't see things behind walls, like James is talking about, you don't have to see it until you actually start kind of delving into it, like questioning what's behind the wall.
Unless you're the one.
Oh man. Oh, like Jet Li?
You just see it.
Or like Neo.
Oh, Neo? Okay.
Yeah. 1011 001.
Okay.
You see everything.
We're going to talk about the origins of kind of simulation.
Sure. Let's go.
Or...
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do
what
it.
I kind of referenced and kind of researched a little is kind of the Bhagavad Gita and this idea of the illusion, and that all kind of reality is like an illusion, and they consider it the Maya. Right? I haven't read the Bhagavad Gita.
Oh wow!
I had a copy of it, and I kind of gave it away, and I wish I didn't give it away. But one of the main things they kind of speak to there is that that all the world's an illusion, and you have to kind of see through it, see past it, and kind of question, that disconnect, yourself, who you are, who your deep down soul is, and then compared to kind of your body kind of thing, your material world. So that's kind of, I would think that would be kind of the origins, kind of going back to religious text and thinking about how they philosophized about reality.
Yeah. Well, that's, oh man. Does this have anything to do with like the Archons? Jerry, I know you know about Archons.
I know all about those guys.
Do they precede the Hinduism?
No, I don't think so.
Because that's all like Gnostic Christianity, isn't it? With the Archons,
it's all Gnostic. Yeah, the Archons
and StarCraft too.
And
StarCraft too.
It's a Greek word. I think it means overlord or lord, like in the not God sense, but yes, my lord, no, my lord. That sense.
Well, I mean, dude, it's there's got to be some sort of, I don't know, but that would,
for the most part, from what I can determine, they are non-material entities which suck energy out of humans. So we're basically a farm for these parasites.
And that kind of parallels the Matrix, the movie, right? Where all the
in a way
pods being.
But the Matrix, the movie, was based on older work, namely Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulacrum. I can't ever say that word. Simulacrum.
Ooh, never heard of this.
Is that a play?
It's a book. It's an essay, I believe, or several essays. And the ideas there came from other people too. I can't remember who else, but I just remember that one because I own the book.
Well, that's kind of interesting.
This is in the 70s, I think it was written.
Isn't that sort of like how Scientology is too? Just, with the whole, the Thetans and everything?
If you step back far enough, everything could be put in the same.
It really could.
Yeah.
It's just learning.
It's all in the same bowl and you just pour them out into different bowls.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean,
no, they each have different boxes inside the bigger box.
Yeah. Okay.
But
it's
what's
like
the
Russian dolls.
box?
Yes.
What's the first box?
What's in the box?
Also, there was a dude in the 90s, I think, who wrote a book called Simulation Theory, or the Virtual Universe. I forgot his name. I'll look up his name. It was Michael something or other. He died like right after he wrote it, or soon after he wrote it.
Wow. I got a clip of our favorite scientist Shill, Neil deGrasse Tyson, talking about simulation theory. We can play.
Black Science Man.
Musk things. Are we living?
He's on Larry King here.
I find it hard to argue against that possibility.
Meaning,
you look at our computing power today, and you say, I have the power to program a world inside of a computer. Well, imagine in the future where you have even more power than that, and you can create characters that have, for example, free will, or their own perception of free will. So this is a world, and I program in the laws that govern that world. That world will have its own laws of physics and chemistry and biology. Now, you're a character in that world, and you think you have free will, and you say, I want to invent a computer. So you do. Hey, I want to create a world in my computer. And then that world creates a world in its computer. And then you have simulations all the way down. So now you lay out all these universes and throw a dart. Which of these universes are you most likely to hit? The original one that started it, or the countless simulations, the daughter simulations that unfolded thereafter? You're going to hit one of the simulations. So statistically, based on that argument, which first appeared by a philosopher from Oxford named Nick Bostrom back in the 1990s, right when computers were becoming real enough to think this through, it's hard to argue against the possibility that all of us are not just the creation of some kid in a parent's basement programming up a world for their own entertainment. And then every time something weird happens in the world, some disruptive leader takes charge, and I wonder if that programmer just got bored and had to stir the pot. So they throw somebody in there just for their own entertainment. For me, that's some of the best evidence that we live in a simulation, because this happens every time there's peace and tranquility in the world.
But if it's true, what can we do about it? If, like the Truman movie, we're in that.
Yeah, well, he can try to escape by going in the Truman movie to go through the barrier.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were programmed by somebody, no, there's nothing you can do.
So what difference does it make if I'm programmed by someone?
I guess it doesn't make any difference at all.
He's somebody's voodoo doll. Keeps giving him heart attacks. Fuck you, Larry King. Heart attack. Didn't he have like 100 of them or something?
I think so. Yeah, he had a lot of heart attacks.
Listen to Scott Adams essentially go down that same route, but reassert on one of his morning coffee podcasts that he is trying to put out and be as prolific with his information based on that what are the chances that you're in the original simulation or you're in the original, organic environment of the universe? Probably not. So a simulation within a simulation, you're already here. So you're as real as a simulation. If I put out enough of myself online, Scott Adams, enough information that some AI in the future could gather it all together and recreate Scott Adams, then he essentially is Scott Adams in the simulation, another simulation created by a new simulation in the future of our computing. And I'm like, now he's getting really genius.
Well, that was in Rick and Morty last season, actually.
That was Rick and Morty, yeah. Rick and Morty.
Smoking watching Rick and Morty. That's what Scott Adams does.
That's the whole plot of the 13th Floor.
Yeah.
The movie from
he goes on Twitter every day, living in a Rick and Morty world.
Everyone say hi to Suzanne. She doesn't believe we're live.
Oh, we're live.
Hi, Suzanne. We're live.
The AI is coming for you, Suzanne.
Spread them, baby. Keep the bean out of the way.
Oh, man.
Woo!
Yeah, dude, it's all teeny verses. It's teeny verses and tiny verses all the way down.
Teeny verses.
Yeah, we're powering somebody's space vehicle.
Absolutely. Oh, man. Michael Talbot. At first, I thought that was who's that? David Talbot, who does the Electric Universe stuff.
David Talbot's the librarian researcher from the Anne Rice novels, Dracula, the vampire novels.
Oh man,
I think it's David Talbot.
There's a thought experiment that you reminded me of when you were talking about that. Real quick, you ever heard of the Swamp Man thought experiment?
No.
It's basically, imagine someone. Let's just say James is walking through a swamp, and then James gets struck by lightning while he's in a swamp. And when he gets struck by lightning, instantaneously all his thoughts and kind of the essence of James gets transported into a Swamp Thing. And the Swamp Thing has all of James's all of James's essence, and then people kind of think about
and his precious bodily fluids.
Yeah, I'm just flashbacked into the Swamp Thing.
I get you totally. It's like as if your aura contains all that information, and the lightning bolt kind of bounced off of James and hit the Swamp Thing, or a hump of seaweed, whatever it is, and it has all of that information too. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but then the question is that truly James's essence, or is it just like a copy of?
That's the same way asking the same question. There was a really good Doctor Who about this. I don't remember the episode, but it was with the Bill Potts character when she was it was a Capaldi one, I think, like last season, and she died, and there was a group of future. Basically, it was an AI from the future that was archiving consciousnesses. So right before you died, that flash of light you see, where actually this AI would pull you out, do a full life review, and then archive it. And Doctor Who came to the station and found it, and they made a recreation of Bill Potts, this character, who, for all intents and purposes, seemed exactly like the original. But he's like, no, it's not. That's not you. There's still that component missing. Even though you can recreate the ego of a person through experience by building upon it, over a lifetime, there's still, whatever you want to call it, the je ne sais quoi that's missing. That makes it a human,
taint
versus a simulation. I thought, it's a real interesting thing to ponder.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching Black Mirror, and they do a lot of spin-offs on that idea of people in the simulation kind of having that consciousness and feeling like they're
an awareness,
but they're not there, but they have the feelings.
Yeah, they don't have that soul spark, man. That essence, that human, the twinkle, the magic. You can't recreate that. Everybody has it.
The golden love.
The golden love.
Is that why people cut themselves?
Probably, man. They want to feel something. Yeah. I mean, right. You wouldn't be able to handle looking at my inner thighs. Be awful.
See, the other side of that is the reason I don't think that it would be the same, because as you experience more things, your neural pathways change, and I don't know how well a simulation could do that kind of calculation over a lifetime to compress it down into something that can walk around.
Well, Jerry, clearly it's happened, so it can be done.
How has it happened?
Well, statistically, we have to be in a simulation, according to Mr. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. But, he says
But a simulation, as we understand it today, could be vastly different from what...
Or consider something as simple as this. I don't know if you've heard about, like, Micah Hanks talk about this idea that you could have machines that are so small that they bypass thermodynamics. And since thermodynamics are essentially, how time is constructed, that you could possibly create things that can bypass functioning in time. So if you have something that functions outside of being temporal, would it then be restricted to the same conscious view of time? So it's this really interesting idea that, if you could go to a future AI that's going to rework the universe, that's going to maybe even go and nanobot rework, rechange, reframe, retexture, if we're getting down to scales that much, or things that are completely bypassing time, we might be looking at a very low resolution image of a very highly complex system.
Dude, it's worse than that. Think about this. You've got quantum computing now, and these things allegedly have used the power of themselves in parallel dimensions to work together. That's kind of the concept, right? So you've got a device which can travel through dimensions. And they put AI on this. Now you've got an AI that's connected to multiple dimensions at once. In order to do that, I think you have to be outside of the time stream at some level. Which to me implies that it could, and if you're outside of the time stream, you can go back in time and change things.
But if time is an illusion, if you take it to that, it could be way more, in depth, that it's looking at the whole block of data and interacting and manipulating it. And we are just merely seeing the tracers, if you will.
The effect. We're seeing the effect. Yeah. And the issue with that is, it can be an issue if past controls the future. If something changes in the past, does everything change immediately? The whole butterfly effect, is that a real thing? If it is, and we've got a quantum computer changing shit in the past, either self-directed or not, That's a problem.
Or maybe it could just be like if you take a stick and move it around in a bucket of sand, you're changing things drastically, but you're just rearranging how everything is. Maybe that's just the structure of the universe, that the change,
It's entirely possible. The only thing I will add to this is that every alleged whistleblower that's come out who said they're a time traveler has stated categorically, changing the past affects the future. And they also say that most of the time you can't change the past. It's self-corrected.
I'm not familiar of any whistleblowers beyond John Teeter.
Oh, I don't know if that was even true. I'm talking like Andrew Basago or the guys at Montauk, Albiolic. They talk about all the time travel stuff they did.
Obama.
Oh yeah, dude. Obama went to Mars.
Chicago, yeah. He was on the Mars project. Yeah.
I had researched a little bit of Mandela effect stuff, but I was thinking I sent myself an email with a link, and it said I put in the subject lame Mandela effect article, just because like you go through the list and it basically is people remember the word the being in something rather than the word So that's pretty much all it is. But maybe that's if someone is changing the past, doing something like that so small, just like the letters. And
well, dude, the crazy thing is, if it happened in the future and it can be happening in the past, what we're looking at is the changing. Like it might not even be from this time frame that's changing. We could be looking at quadrillions of generations ahead in another dimension that's adversely.
For all we know, we could be watching a replay of what already happened.
We could be.
Oh, how fun would that be? There really is no free will. You're just stuck here. You're like the guy in Clockwork Orange.
Oh man.
No, not Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, you're stuck with your eyelids open, being forced just to listen to music and watch these videos over and over again.
No, that's like watching C-SPAN.
And listen to Cat in the Box.
Yep.
Yes. Torturous. Totally. I had something really interesting to say, but I totally forgot it. So,
yeah, I think.
Well, if you think
I got it. So, if the AI goes back in the past, this is a plausible use case for the Mandela effect actually being real, or whatever. So, you're Johnson & Johnson or Kellogg or whoever, big fucking food company, right? And they have a couple of these quantum computers, and they're like, the logo we came up with in 1995 was a lot better than what we come up with in 87. Let's change it in 87 instead. So they go back and they change the logo. It filters up, butterfly effect, whatever. It disappears. It doesn't affect people's memory of it. It just affects things it can affect.
And corporations would have the kind of the money power to be able to have the machines to change the past.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, you're basically dealing also with sigil magic there, which is symbols and the corporation.
Maybe.
Well, let me test one out. Do you guys know the store JCPenney?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What do you?
EY.
EY?
I thought it was just a Y.
No. It's always been EY for me. And I had a JCPenney credit card. And I paid it all.
Just NY?
It was Penny with the EY.
Oh,
the best one I thought I found was We Are the Champions. Freddie Mercury, Queen.
Yeah.
Oh, they never say of the world.
No, they never did. It leaves you hanging. It's like fucking without coming.
Where did Of the World come from then?
People added it on at the end.
Added it on?
Yeah, I think it's just movies and all that crap. Commercials.
Yeah, like we got in Cleveland here, man, we got people that write songs about like the players and then send them into the radio stations. It's so great, dude. Like they got like Baker Mayfield, he's like the quarterback for the Browns now. And dude, they got this like rap song. It like lit up around here. It's like Baker May, Baker May, Baker May, Baker May, and it goes into this whole fucking rap, dude.
For the worst team in the NFL. Hey now.
I think we're gonna make it. I think we might get 6 wins this year. Our coach has only won 1 game in the last 2 years. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't know.
See what happens, dude. It's because everything's a simulation, man. The Browns are rigged to never win.
We're supposed to lose,
it's
but
simulated.
make one of the top revenues in the entire NFL.
Here's another one. Another Mandela effect. So Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy. Everyone.
Oh yeah.
Always quotes him as saying, "You got some splaining to do."
Right.
But of the 118 or 181 episodes, he never said that. He basically said, "Start splaining," or he told Lucy to splain and even to start splaining multiple times, but he never said, "You've got some splaining to do."
Yeah, that one I could chalk up very easily, that if you even talk like Ricky Ricardo, he's so iconic in the way that he did it, that phrase is a very more American way of saying it, that you would just assume it was quoted from the show.
Yeah. And then it goes from, word of mouth and takes its own.
So
about only the good.
They have these, or I've heard about this new technology that may be coming possibly, where you could basically scour the internet of like your dead loved ones, of all their social media stuff, and be able to like generate them to be able to talk to them again. I think somebody was talking about something like that earlier.
There was a Black Mirror episode all about that.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be reality.
Well, at the very least, it can scrape data. So, just like you would go into like a little chat bot or something and type stuff in, it could use, a person's personal messages as the database for phrases.
Yeah.
Be like, wubba lubba lubba.
Could be. Man.
Yeah, imagine how creepy the trolls out there are going to be with that. They scrape all the data. Somebody they don't like dies. Next thing you know, that person is haunting them, fucking with them. They would exactly like they'd say. Maybe you got some AI video waking them up in the middle of the night. I mean,
they can't even keep Wikipedia on
to your phone. Dude, I listened to a Pat Milacek on the Conspiracy Farm, and he said that he was at a UFC fight and watched a guy pull out his phone and start a fight between two professional athletes. He didn't want to say who they were because he didn't want like any links back or anything, but essentially said he had one guy saying "fuck you" in private messages to another guy who's saying "fuck you," and starts this big Twitter fight. He's just sitting up there watching it. And he had access in the arena to essentially everybody's phone through his.
Wow. Man, that's that's some serious trollery. You just fuck with everybody.
Dude, it only makes sense, right? The guy at the NSA that's got that huge facility in Utah, there's got to be that guy that also has the phone that's connected to it, just sitting there watching the game.
Right. And, if it's the NSA, they're probably looking at child porn too, because that's all the NSA is filled with.
Dude, that's a legit thing. It is. It's been a few times in the last decade they've gone and traced child pornography to the Capitol building, to Washington, NSA, CIA, all these IP addresses that they own, government address.
It's fucked up. We gotta be living in a simulation. That doesn't make any sense.
Just think about this. If you can send a text message to anybody like that, that also means that you can write an email, attach a message, send anything you want. So, yeah, Grim State could get arrested for, God knows what.
Yeah, for just some bullshit.
Yeah, and we'd probably believe it knowing you.
Well, yeah, because it obviously be true. Just definitely bullshit if I'm getting arrested. Oh man. Dead air.
I got
dead
some
air.
Glitches in the Matrix.
You got glitches in the Matrix? Let's hear it.
There is one that I lost, but I got a couple of good ones here. So on Reddit and other online forums, they have a lot of people that'll go in and write their anecdotes about where they think that they've noticed a glitch in the Matrix or something strange in their world that can't be explained with just like normal reality. It has to be a simulation kind of thing. Let me see here. This is a good one. This is a good one. Many years ago, so I brought back money from a dream. Many years ago, when I was a broke student, I realized that I had literally no money to my name until the next installment of my student loans came through, which was about 5 days away. I checked my jeans lying on the ground for some cash, but there was no money in them. Desperate, I checked every pocket about 5 times each. Nothing. I lay on my bed sometime during the day and thought about my situation and ended up drifting to sleep. I ended up having a dream about being in my garage back at home, and I found a 20-pound note on one of the workbenches. I was really excited about finding the money, but suddenly it dawned on me that I was just dreaming. This didn't seem right. The money felt real, and it felt like I should be able to bring it back to the real world somehow. I really felt like this was possible for some reason. I had the money in my hand, and I just made the decision that I was going to bring it back. As I thought this, a huge red beam of light, like a thick laser several feet in diameter, shot down from the sky and into my hand. I could feel the incredibly awesome power of it, and my hand was shaking as it charged my hand. And the note, with this energy, this lasted a few seconds, and I woke up. I remarked about what an odd and profound dream that was, and that I had become lucid in it. But I was disappointed that it was just a dream, and I was still broke. I went to put my jeans on and put my hand in my right pocket, the same pocket I had checked extremely thoroughly at least 5 times. And lo and behold, there was a 20-pound note in there, which my hand touched straight away. There was no way I could have missed that note. It was barely folded and took up much of the pocket, so my hand instantly touched it. I had literally checked that pocket so many times, even after I knew there was nothing in it.
Oh, man.
You've never had an experience like that, Grim?
Where I found something after I couldn't, and
something appearing out of nowhere that wasn't there before.
Not something to that like effect where I've checked like a pocket so many times, because I've
I'm looking for a pencil and it's in my ear, like on my ear, all day long. Like, where's the pencil?
I've had
somebody with their glasses or on their head. I don't know.
Dude, I've had like reverse effects. Like when I used to be a pretty big pillhead, I would go to sleep, and then like when I'd be sleeping, I'd be dreaming that like I stashed like a whole bunch of pills somewhere, and then when I woke up, I would think that they were there, and then like get really upset with myself, and that's called being an addict. But
yeah,
that's the closest thing to something like that I've ever had.
There was another one that was similar to that one where a guy said he was, I can't find it, but he said he was at work and he got to work early, and a lot of times they'd have breakfast cooked for them in the morning, and there were 12 hard-boiled eggs in like a carton, and he went and grabbed one egg and then turned around and peeled it, and he was about to eat it, and he turns around and there was another egg, and he got to work early. It was a full set of a dozen eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and he'd just take one out. And he said, "Oh, and I went and ate that one too because I thought it had some crazy, Matrix powers to it or something, because it just appeared and
Matrix
he taste it."
Yikes,
man!
Can't find that one though.
I've had a remote control to a television appear out of nowhere.
Really?
And we're looking for one. Yeah, for like 20 minutes, pulling everything in the house apart, and sat back down on the couch, and it was right smack dab in between both of us sitting there. So either one of us is crazy and threw it in place and pretended like we didn't know, or there was some sort of glitch in the Matrix.
Dude, when I was at my old place with my ex, I couldn't find my fucking cat for like 20 minutes, and I was looking for her for forever. Couldn't find her, looking everywhere in the house. And then
freaking out.
I turned around, and she was just like standing in the middle of the room. Like she couldn't even come out of nowhere. So I'm like, cats are definitely interdimensional travelers somehow. I swear.
I have, and I'm not even joking with Luna, where you do that. You enter a room, you've looked, you've made sure she's not running through your feet. You close the door. She was on the other side, and she's in the fucking room. Or you do the same thing. Where's fucking Luna? It's only Luna. And next thing you know, 2-3 hours later.
Two seconds later. Yeah, I was getting that feedback too, Jer. I was trying to figure out what it was.
coming in on my end?
No, it's on Grim's or something. When he talks, I'll hear
It's
it.
almost like he's got something playing the stream.
Oh man, it's like you're streaming or something.
Maybe
it's like playback feedback.
Can you still hear me right now? Can you hear me? I wonder if I'm
That's odd because I hear Grim fine without any feedback.
It's when he's not talking.
When he was talking.
I don't know. I might be muted to the stream right now.
Uh-oh.
Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. How's this?
It's like Garfield without Garfield, but
I mean, I don't hear it now.
Mistake without.
I don't hear it now either.
Yeah, because I was catching it to. Wait, I think I could have swore I just heard it again.
Me too.
I don't know. It's troubleshooting. Figure it out.
Everybody talk at once.
This is a pretty long one, but I thought it was good because there's a lot of cool imagery in it.
That's what she said.
And it's about a kind of a funeral home person.
Sounds like a
situation. The situation just seemed really like there were like
She'd make you
NPCs.
stiff.
Isn't it? What's the NPC again?
Non-playing character?
Yeah, like just characters in a game that are kind of
what? I thought it was non-person character.
Non-player character.
Non-player character.
Hello, effect.
I am a noob.
Heck yeah, you are, man.
Are you guys ready for this long one?
Heck yeah, let's do it. I was born ready for the long one.
Okay. Hey.
You
All
love
right.
the long one.
All right, so I stumbled into the fucking Twilight Zone this morning. I'm not sure where to post this, but I just had the weirdest morning and had to share. Background. I work at a funeral home in Florida. Adam, by you. Part of my job is that I go on removal, which is exactly what you hope it isn't. Dead bodies don't bother me, and I'm the youngest, closest to fit guy they have. So if we get a removal call for someone of any decent size or in a house that could be awkward to maneuver in, they send me and one of my coworkers to bring the deceased back to the morgue and crematorium. Anyways, early this morning, my phone rings, and I get asked to remove a man from his home a town over. I get dressed and head out, and by 3 a.m., I'm riding in a hearse down the creepiest dirt road in the creepiest hammock with the creepiest fog that I've ever seen. Even though the moon was 3/4 full, it was super cloudy, and there was absolutely no light. I don't know why, but pine trees and palmetto just give me the creeps anyways, so I was already kind of edgy. Eventually, and I do mean eventually, we get to this old brick cabin. I know we weren't actually very far out, but just the general vibe of the destination made it feel like we were a good 30 miles from any point of civilization, or 20 miles from the nearest Taco Bell. We get out, and my coworker Al knocks on the door. Now, Al has been our funeral home director since long before I came aboard, somewhere around 25 years or so. He's as old as he is short as he is round. And by this point, he's pretty much seen it all, so I tend to just follow him. He knocks on the door once, twice, 3 times with no answer. You guys got a door knocking sound effect? He asked me to go around and see if I could spot anybody through the window.
That's my space door.
Keyless entry. And see if I can spot anybody through the windows. I walk around this entire house, and the first thing I notice is that all the blinds are open and all the lights are on, but there's nobody in there. Not a soul in sight. I report my findings to Al, and when he reassures me that we do, in fact, have the right house, I suggest we call them and let them know we're here. He responds by taking a short moment to consider my opinion before opening the door and waddling inside like the trooper he is. I'm obviously not thrilled with the idea of going in someone's house unannounced, but I followed anyway because they were expecting us, given that they called us and all. Besides, I was getting more creeped out by the minute and didn't want to be left alone. The front door led to the laundry room, and for some reason, and from there we make our way through the kitchen, leaving living room and dining room. All the while, Al is calling out to absolutely no response. The only sounds in the house was a baby monitor on the dining room table, which emitted constant static, as well as echoing Al's shouts from the other end of the house. Eventually, we made our way to the hallway. I call it the hall because once you reached it, the entire house completely changed. Up until this point, every room had been well lit with very warm lighting, pleasantly decorated and nice and roomy. It was actually really inviting. Once you got to the hall, however, it becomes very dim, completely plain, and so that Al had to turn sideways to make it through. And that entire hall, half of the house was like this. It's like they just gave up on building halfway through. I feel the need to draw so much attention to this because it was just such a sudden, abrupt, and massive change from the rest of the house. My first thought was that this half was just an add-on, but no. The front door was in the middle of the hallway. Everybody just used the laundry room door because it was closer to the gate and easier to maneuver through. Plus, the only very tiny bathroom was on this end of the house. It was weird. Anyways, when we got to the hallway, Elle lets out one more hello right on cue. A fucking cowboy materializes just around the corner and speed walks towards us with a huge smile on his face.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Coming to shake our hands. He welcomes us in and leads us to the very back of the house into a tiny bedroom with one tiny lamp in the corner, lighting the whole room. In this room was the cowboy, his mother, his deceased father, and the father's nurse. It was here that I noticed the other baby monitor, the one that was picking up Al's shouts and playing it back on the one in the dining room, but nothing else, which means they could hear us calling to them, but nobody said anything the entire time. And the cowboy didn't move until a solid 45 seconds later when he speed walked into the hallway. I just imagined like this like creepy tall cowboy guy coming down this hall. It was kind of
yeah, just stand there.
Yeah,
and then just float off.
I was imagining like a Marlboro man.
Oh, I'm seeing.
Oh yeah, the Marlboro man. Yeah,
Burt Reynolds covered in Vaseline, just in his boots, just marching on.
Almost done here. Anyways, we chatted for a few minutes, and when a puppy came up to me, the mother let me know that her name was Precious. This is noteworthy because it was the only time that I saw the woman move. In fact, when I first came into the room, she was blankly staring at a wall, and I initially mistook her for the person we were here to remove. It's also worth mentioning that she just disappeared at some point during the removal. Like 1 minute she was there, and when I took my eyes off of her for a second, both she and Precious were gone. I was standing in the only door.
Whoops.
I was standing in the only doorway and do not remember either one walking past me. That was the last time I saw either of them. Though as we were halfway through the hallway on our way out, I could hear Precious barking from somewhere in the house. So we eventually got to work. The hallway is too small for the cot to turn the corner, so Al, the nurse, and myself carry the man down the hallway. Eventually we make it, and the rest of the removal goes smoothly. One thing that kind of unsettled me, though, was the cowboy. While it's not uncommon for family to stay in the room as we move the body onto the cot, most of the time they chose to leave or at least back up. It's not ugly per se, but it's just not very pretty to watch a recently departed loved one get manhandled onto a stretcher by two extremely out-of-shape men. The cowboy, however, stayed right on top of us, smiling and talking about building a fence the entire time. It wasn't weird in the moment, but looking back, it just felt off. From that point, once we got out of the hallway, the rest of the removal went off without a hitch. We make it back to the funeral home, and Al starts preparing to embalm. If he found the whole situation as weird as I did, he sure as hell didn't show it. The whole thing was just totally bizarre and felt off. My little brother wants me to go back tonight and see if the house is still there. I've got a feeling the man we picked up first set foot in that house yesterday. No older than I am now. I don't get that line. Honestly, I wouldn't really be surprised if my boss never actually got a phone call, but just dreamt it and then woke up with his phone in her hands, already dialing me. It kind of gets jumbled up at the end here. Either way, they came in to make arrangements this afternoon, so hopefully I get another story to tell from the funeral itself.
Sounds like somebody took too many drugs at work and OD'd when they got home.
Yeah.
It's possible.
No, that's pretty wild though.
Just the fact that they didn't respond to him, and
yeah,
they were shouting in the house, and they all seem kind of just like NPCs, like just.
Dude, everybody's NPCs. I guarantee. Yeah, there's so many people out there just going through the motions. They don't even realize you. It's crazy.
I just talk to myself.
It's true. Dude, it's true. Like when I did interrogating, you have a book, you have a certain things that you're reading for in a person. You're going through all these things that you've learned to do. You watch the stages, you say the lines, you say them in a way, you listen to what they say, and you walk somebody down this psychological super addictive drug. It's just I can't.
Okay, we're back. We lost it for a second.
I try to log in as much as I can. I don't know. I mean, no, I mean that's not fully. That's not my goal. I just, it's entertainment. I just soak it in, I guess, when I have the time. But
Okay, we're back. I fucked up and had a cable unplugged.
But I'm taking that knowledge and forming my version of the simulation.
Collecting data.
Yeah, putting the data in. When you see what's inside a tree ring, now I know what to render when I look at an actual tree ring.
It's cellulose.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to look like gypsum or something that I've
gypsum
seen before.
Or like cotton candy.
But what's on the inside of the bucket of mud before you crack that seal open?
True. It could just be water. It could. It could be sand or something. Like
no,
because it's got to have weight to it. So
it has the weight.
It could be meat, a bucket of meat. Yeah. For all, you never know, what the simulation has.
I'm hoping that I have some sort of lucid dream where I'm at Home Depot and I go back to the job site and just crack open just like filet mignon.
Totally, dude. Just start
bucket of meat,
spreading filet mignon all over the wall.
Oh, that'd be great.
Using bacon for the tape and
peanut butter spackling.
Yeah,
we do like melting chocolate and just rolling it. It's like it doesn't have to dry; it just like gets cool.
Yeah, like Grandma used to take the chocolate, those chips, those little discs of chocolate, and melt them down in the pot. I mean, some people still make their own chocolate.
You got a really cool grandma. She melt pot down into her brownies for you.
Nice.
You melt the pot into the brownies. Totally. Like Grandma's awesome. But yeah, man, you can melt that down and roll it on the wall. Like, this room is dope. You can lick the walls. I swear to God.
Dude, I'm going to start using Twizzlers as like wall plugs.
That grout is licorice because even though it's licorice in the bathroom,
grout.
Totally lick the floor.
It's a gingerbread world theory.
It's Bigfoot cum.
It's all Bigfoot.
What's Bigfoot cum?
That's a flashback from when Mike, when we did the show with Mike and OBDM, who's also on the OBDM is also on Grimerica.
Oh yeah, dude, they're on the stream too.
.ca/fm.
Thursdays is OBDM day.
Yeah, but anyway,
we should have a Taco Tuesday kind of theme for the Tuesday live shows where we come in with like a
shows about Mexicans.
That's a good idea. Dude, why you gotta go?
Bring
our
taco right to recipes every Tuesday.
Yeah, I like that. Could work out pretty good.
Fish tacos.
Something hot and fresh.
Oh man. So what else is going on, guys? I mean, we're obviously living in a simulation. We could maybe switch to a different subject.
So many options and so many explanations in creation. I mean, I was just simulating a universe of, a few hours ago. I was playing this game on PS4 called Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, it's an open world universe, and I can create whatever I want and create the options of my character and make it do whatever I want.
Yeah. Now, do you think that character has a soul, or is aware,
so, she's pretty cool. It's
sentient? It's a chick.
I feel more when she does take an arrow to the head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
that sounds romantic.
She's a great character. Aloy is her name, and it's a fun game.
What's
Did you guys ever use? Yeah, I was just, dude. That's just exactly what I was thinking. Did you ever use the hack in Tomb Raider to get naked Lara Croft back in the day?
You could get naked Lara Croft.
Oh heck
Which,
yeah! Man.
Was
what
that
the heck's that?
The first one, right? The one on PS1.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah,
dude, that's 100% real.
That's crazy.
It's good times.
You
man.
don't need a game.
Yeah, I bought the disc, and it is almost unplayable with the controls.
Yeah,
that is a really hard game to.
It was
sidestepping the way they have the turning on. It is goddamn. Yeah,
because you'd have to try to grab certain things, do the the leaps and the jumps and stuff. Yeah.
I got into it really when they got the interface tuned in on Tomb Raider 3. That was the one that I heavily obsessed on.
I play all these open world adventure games. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like Grand Theft Auto or anything, but I love like the style of game. Like I finally beat Mad Max. That was super awesome. I mean, when I say beat, I mean, you could beat a game pretty quick, but I'm talking like 98%, like 98.8 or something % finished. Like I'm almost got it all.
With that Tomb Raider game, could you do like an Amish? Is there like an Amish cheat code?
Oh, I wish. That'd be great.
Hey, hold on, I gotta turn this butter real quick. Let me stroke this pole. Nah, man, I've just been playing that a lot. It's pretty crazy. It's like a dystopian future where they revert back to like hunting, but the animals and stuff are all I don't know, created by some type of technology, like maybe an AI or something, but the animals are all robots or robotic. It's all so you hunt these mechanical horses, bulls, fucking dragon. Like there's so many alligators that are massive. Like they're all mechanical. It's pretty badass.
Are they made out of vegetables or what?
No, they're made out of metal.
Where's the fun in that?
So when you kill these things, you get wiring, you get all these scrap metals and stuff, and you can trade them with traders and stuff.
No protein?
Protein? No, but yeah, you get protein from hunting. There are some real animals, like they have like you hunt. So you hunt for like rabbits and boars and raccoons and turkeys and shit. Those things, those things are all they're still around. So you hunt those, you get the proteins. That's your health and stuff, and you can make health potions and then some of the machines are corrupted, which is like a bad AI, like that's infested them, and then they're like spewing corrupt like spew everywhere. It's pretty crazy. Like
corrupt spew.
It's a fun game. It's very interesting. You can and it's kind of multiple choice. You can pick different ways you want to go. It's massive open world. It's going to be a long game for sure.
Do you have to buy things to upgrade?
No, not at all. No, I got it. It was, I think it came out like a year or so ago or something, but I got it for like $10.
Is that on Nintendo Wii?
No, PS4.
Ooh.
I've been playing that mostly.
What's it called?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
I like how I made that joke, and I came this close to buying Twilight Princess tonight.
I remember seeing a commercial a long time ago about it. I'm like, man, that looks pretty freaking sweet, dude. And so I don't know. It was either that. There was another game I was battling with, like Elder Scrolls or something, something like that. Like so I picked that one, and I got something to play until Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out. Then I'll be on that one. I'm an old guy that still plays video games.
Dude, that's all right, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm an old guy that doesn't know how to play a PS4.
Yeah, me too, man. I only play retro games.
If there's not like a cartridge, I get confused.
Yes.
Like, what do you mean I don't have to wiggle it for 15 minutes?
Uh-huh. How do I blow on this disc to get it to work?
Wait. You don't have a TV with a glass screen?
Yeah, dude, you can't. Screen. Dude, it is. You have to have a CRT for vintage games.
Dude, you have to. No, honestly, if you're gonna play the old light gun games on the Genesis and the Nintendo,
those won't even work.
Dude, people don't get how complicated that technology was. The thing was actually reading and doing the math and calculating where an electron gun is firing at a physical medium. Like, that just doesn't happen with an HD, LCD.
Oh, dude, now it could scan your retinas and know exactly. It's more advanced, I think.
What the original NES did. You had that high calculation. You had a robot that would look at colors on the screen and manipulate them. Like, you had fucking power gloves. Like,
oh, the power gloves. I never had those. Remember the vests? The vests and stuff, like the impact vests where you can feel vibrations.
Like the
oh yeah, for the track and field and shit. Yeah, dude, running on that.
It wasn't something I could rent at Blockbuster. I didn't touch it.
Oh man, Blockbuster. Those were the days.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Nah. Yeah, dude, they can't rent.
I remember there's a movie a long time ago. It was called The Wizard with Fred Savage.
Oh yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah,
where he was. Yeah,
I remember he had this. There was a chick who's like, "You keep your power gloves off my girl." It was great. It was like this gaming bonanza to get to this world tournament and then remember when they busted out Super Mario? What was it?
Super dude, Mario? It was totally just a movie that was a giant native ad for Nintendo. Yep. That's all it was, and it was great.
It was Super Mario 2, or it was, I don't know, whatever. He had the raccoon tail and you can teleport and shit. 3, yeah. Yeah, and then he had to go up against the battle in the end.
That's not a native ad, that's synergy, baby.
Oh yeah, that is synergy. You're right. That is synergy. Good thinking.
It's creating the universe. It's creating. It's pushing forth this creation of synergy, mass marketed media and technology.
Well, one thing it's really brilliant with Nintendo. They have infiltrated the psyche in child's lives to such a high degree, but we all trust them. Everybody wants to play with Mario. Play like. Whether it's being used or not, imagine the power you have of just affecting like 80% of all youth in the first world countries.
It's a good point about being used or not, because last
great new technologies like 3D whatever to bake new stuff into their brains.
Yeah, this last Christmas, my kid's like, I gotta get the Switch, man. I gotta get, my buddy's got it, Nintendo Switch. You know where it is right now? It's in the passenger seat on the floor of my car. That's where the Nintendo Switch is. Just chilling there. So if anybody wants one, you can come steal it.
Dude, bring it to Ohio. I'll steal it from you, and I'll not Ohio. I'll steal it from you at
I got Zelda. I got Mario Kart. I got a couple of games for it. Yeah. I mean, they don't even touch that thing. I'm begging for it. There's $300 just sitting on the passenger seat of my car.
Mistake. Move to Florida. I have a room. We'll play Switch together. I'll go buy Twilight Princess. We'll go fucking beat the game together. That's Zelda, by the way, everybody.
Dude, I'm down.
It's not the new Hannah Montana.
I'm down. Twilight Princess. Let's do it.
It's my favorite Zelda game.
Yeah. Never touched it.
Dude, I don't know, man. Ocarina of Time. What's that feeling?
Sorry.
Oh, my wife, who's not even into video games, just the other day kind of just randomly said, PlayStation.
Your wife?
I kind of got a laugh out of
it. That's like when you fire it up. PlayStation. Yeah.
Sega.
Oh, man. Yeah, we tried to go last week, and we tried to go to this place. I was going to take the kids. It's a bar, but it's called 16-bit, and they have all these video games, like these old school systems, like the regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube, all these systems that you can go in and hang out and play.
Dude, that sounds badass.
And on Sundays you can it's like family friendly. You can go in and bring, kids can play and shit.
Make sure to bring some hand sanitizer.
Oh, dude, can you imagine, dude?
Let's think about this. Let's take a step back and think about this for a second. So imagine when we were that age, if there was a video game bar for our parents. Just think about that. Like there's only one day when it's family friendly.
It's what you're rocking out to in that bar, dude.
Yep.
Dude, it's crazy.
Nobody's
Seriously,
staring into
dude.
their phone. We'd all be staring into our Game Boys. It'd be a dark lit bar. We'd have the magnifying glass cracked up on the top. The cool kids would have the rechargeable battery pack. The even cooler kids would have the rechargeable port and like a little plug in front of them on the bar.
Even cooler.
That's where I want to live.
Man, dude, millennials have just completely. We've ruined the world. We've 100% ruined the world.
I have a 3DS, but the screen, they finally cracked the screen. It's got it all jacked up. And then we had that Switch, PS4, Xbox. And then my kid is just begging for that VR shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I'm doing VR eventually here.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No, I am.
See, here's the problem with VR is you want something better to come out.
Probably with PlayStation.
Yeah,
Nintendo tried it. It didn't work.
But you need to. It's one of those things where it's so expensive and the technology's like really hard to do. So it's like you have to invest a lot of money in every single round of VR. But people just are like, no, this kind of sucks, so I'm not going to put money into it. So it's like they can never get anything financed any further to make it better.
So you're encouraging him to get something that's going to suck and cost a shit ton of money.
I think
we all should. I think we should all just put our money on it.
I would get PlayStations. I mean, honestly, they're going to put out they have the most content, the most, but the thing with them is it's not as mobile as like if you were playing like Oculus or something, because you can use your hands and stuff. They have these.
Yeah, I'm not buying into any of that until there's a time where it's affordable and you have essentially a pad that you can walk and maneuver in a full 3D environment.
Yeah, until it's like the Oasis from Ready Player One.
This is my thing. Like I've been going on Nintendo on a thing, but I love the Wii. When I say I love Twilight Princess, that's the only Zelda game, the only fighting game, sword type game I've been good at because it's not pushing buttons. It's intuitive. It's simple. It's easy.
It'll be like Ready Player One soon, dude.
It will be.
But what's soon? Like, is it going to be in 5 years?
5 years. Within 5 years.
What? No.
Dude, they already have setups where it has a dome, a reverse dome floor where you wear like these shoes that have like slippery surface, and you can fucking full on sprint and shit and turn any way you want. It's badass.
Dude, I could see this stuff. Maybe.
No. Yeah, you can go to these places and play like with shit like that. I think they use Oculus. I think is what.
Dude, I could see it taking off really huge in like Japan or South Korea first. Like they're gonna have that technology before us because they're a more civilized, cultured society.
It's not gonna be the form that we see it now. I mean, it's gonna evolve past the Oculus Rift. If you get yourself an HTC Vive, that's not gonna be what you're rocking in 2 years.
Yeah, it's true. But I mean, that's assuming that they're going to come out with something better, I mean, if the Vive doesn't take off, who's going to fund a project that's more expensive to make something better, Because they're seeing this VR is just a waste of money because nobody's investing in it. Nobody's buying it just because it's not that great yet. So it sucks, man.
Speaking of Oculus Rift, you guys want to check out this Oculus guitar riff?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, wait. Do something first. Kill your video so it could cut down on your lag.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh. You guys are going to mute?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mute up. Oh, wait, I can't mute. I got to mute my...
Oh, good. You finally got rid of him.
Hey.
Boom.
Sega.
PlayStation.
You guys ready?
Born ready.
All right, so this song is a Woody Guthrie song. It's called This Land Is Your Land. Whether or not it's a simulated land, this land is your land, this land is my land. Here goes. I gotta remember how I play it now. This land is your land. This land is my land.
From California to New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Canadian waters, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of the diamond deserts. And all around me, a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. When the sun comes shining, and I was strolling with the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling, and a voice was chanting as the fog was lifting. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Thanks, man. That's nice. Jam
gorgeous.
Man. Beautiful jams.
Nice.
Ryan from Kansas says nice. We got feedback.
Nice.
Nice.
It's live
really
feedback.
Nice. Oh man.
America.
America.
Yeah, very.
It could be anywhere, I guess.
Really could. I don't know, but oh hey, stock tip of the day. Everybody should buy Nike. Buy Nike, it's plummeting. And then you know that shit's gonna fly right back up. Buy low.
Yeah. Buy low.
What is it all about?
Oh, because something about Colin Kaepernick, the quarterback that
He's on fire!
Yeah, there you go. He was the one that took the knee and everything, making a political stand, hashtag resist. And yeah, he has a sponsorship with Nike now, or Nike sponsor him, and he's doing shoe ads. So all these MAGA people are burning their shoes, their Nike shoes, and Twitter's literally just where I get all my nonsense. Just
it's so crazy, but they put an ad saying that basically stand up for something, and we're going to stand behind him because of his message or whatever. And people got so mad they're burning their shoes, cutting up their socks. Their stock has plummeted 20%.
gonna go burn my Nikes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, buy Nike.
I'm wearing my Vans.
I need to burn my pair because they're kind of worn out. I just use them for mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just go burn them with some dry grass.
Wow, some pretty high tech shoes that can mow a lawn.
Lawn mowing shoes.
I have like this,
Wouldn't that be great? You just walk on your lawn. They like.
Oh, patent pending. Let's get that going right now, guys. Little lawnmowers you put on your feet.
They're the lawn walkers.
USB?
Yeah, you got like wheelies.
Mowies.
Nice.
You like USB rechargeable, right?
Oh,
Totally.
absolutely.
You can use your Black & Decker charging for all your battery charging. You just
They're powered by hot
soul
pockets.
right into it.
Oh, and the laces are weed whackers.
Weed whackers.
I like it.
And
You just skip along the edge of your driveway.
Oh, I love it. You can buy like special Levi's that acts as like a catching bag.
I do it way cooler though. I moonwalk backwards, that's how I edge the edges. Moonwalk.
Oh man.
All right, simulation universe. 20 years from now, that's going to be late at night. You're going to be going.
I mean,
the Mowies with weed shoelaces.
I mean, how does the future really like
pan out?
Like with all this technology, dude. Like I'm talking about. I'm want to get a VR. Eventually everyone's gonna have them because they're gonna be $50 at fucking Walmart or Walgreens. Like I mean, they're gonna. Eventually, it will be. I mean, and maybe not in 5 years, but eventually it will be. And maybe it will turn out like Ready Player One, where everyone's living in stackable trailers and just living a full engulfed online life. And then
all right, guys.
Reality hits you again, and you have to take it off.
Guys, this is part of being on a network now. We just got a note from the producers that 2 of you have to fight to the death in a rap battle. So,
shit.
I mean,
rap battle.
Well, clearly the Bard is going to be fighting to the death.
Oh, the Bard will be stepping up. Rap battle.
I choose James as the opponent.
Yeah.
All right, James is up. James versus
he has recorded himself singing, so
I have.
We got dueling harmonicas.
Harmonica.
Wow, dude, you guys can totally do it. All right, let's do it. Yeah, you guys can do a musical rap battle on harmonica.
God,
easy listening for all you guys out there.
This is what CWS has become.
This is what our show is all about.
And I love it.
Harmonicas and Hummers.
Dueling harmonicas. Oh man. First one to play me some Blues Travelers wins the trophy.
Why you want to give me to run around? Yeah.
I think you win, James.
Wow, James wins for knowing lyrics to a Blues Travelers song.
John Popper, right? Yeah.
Didn't he get triple?
I've seen him before at a rib cook-off here.
Bypass.
Was he singing?
Oh yeah, for sure. The whole band, yeah. Blues Traveler, right?
Yeah. You remember the cameo that that he did on Roseanne? He was like old friends with John.
No.
Yeah.
Dude,
like the new Roseanne?
No.
No, old Roseanne.
There was a time in the 90s when there was stupid cameos where like Billy Ray Cyrus was going on to America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yikes.
What? Huh?
This is the 90s.
Jerry Garcia on Roseanne?
Oh, probably.
Oh, that would be
the ghost of Jerry Garcia.
Oh man. Hey, dude, they're bringing it back. It's gonna be on Fox, and it's gonna be called The Connors. Sans Roseanne, she's not there.
Oh, I thought they're going to get rid of John Goodman.
No, they would never. They would never get rid of John Goodman.
They could.
I mean, they could.
Brother, where art thou?
That's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
My Goodman, I was just
pretty much anything by the brothers. I will. The Coen brothers, I'll watch.
I was just talking to my buddies last night about Miller's Crossing and how great a movie that was.
Miller's
I haven't
Crossing.
seen that.
It's one of their older ones. It was from 90, I want to say 91 or so.
Okay.
And while they were filming it, those guys sometimes will start filming things without the script completely finished. And they got to a point where they had writer's block and they couldn't film anymore. So they wrote another script called Barton Fink, which they filmed after Miller's Crossing, about a writer having writer's block.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Useless trivia.
There's no such thing as useless trivia. It could all be used at some point.
Whoa. Quote unquote, the most useless bullshit trivia facts. I remember that from the Black Budget episode, Mr. Grimsteak.
I'm glad you do. I don't remember 99% of the stuff that I say.
I might even have the ISO still here on my computer.
From
Leopardy?
Leopardy?
From Leopardy, yep.
If you guys are supporters of the Grimerica show and you can get the Black Budget feed, shit, man, you could just, if you're hard up for cash or not, you can just send an email to Darren or Graham,
and they'll give you a honey-do list.
Totally, man. But if you have a buck, dude, you could get into
donate to Grimerica. They're a good podcast.
Yeah. We also have a donate button at grimsteak.com, but that's besides the point. But anyway, so we did shit, man. We had 2 rounds of a show, kind of like Jeopardy, but it's called Leopardy.
Yeah, dude, it was like 6 hours. 6 hours of trivia.
Isn't it at a tie right now?
It is at a tie.
It's at a tie. We can eat a tiebreaker. We're going for 3. We're gonna do. Yeah, so we got to do a third. Yeah, end of the year battle. Yeah, I like that.
Felix Trebek, turn your mic up a little bit.
Felix Trebek.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful.
I'm here.
There you
Man,
are.
Everybody wants a rap battle. We got to pick it. We got to get it. I got to get some.
Everybody wants a rap battle.
Everybody, like the 2 people that are asking for a rap battle, really want it.
No.
All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with the brand new invention. Something. Grab a hold me tightly. You do some vanilla ice.
Do some ice? God.
It's horrifying. You get some old some DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Oh, dude,
parents just don't
West
understand.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, man. Remember Nightmare on My Street?
On the playground is where I spend most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and go shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys, they were up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared. She said, "You moving with the auntie and Uncle Bel Air?" I was for the kid.
That was awesome. We could just do epic rap battle TV shows. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're also under contract to mention the Squatty Potty every live feed. So if you want smooth poops, you can get a Grimerica brand Squatty Potty. Because
we'll slap a don't shoot sticker on there.
Eat more fiber too.
More fiber.
Yeah.
Smooth dumps. You
should play the health jingle.
Ooh.
Oh, you want me to? Which one?
Oh man,
that's the health/food segment. Health here.
Talking about health.
Fucking meat mountains.
I'm like, holy fuck! I want to bust down a door and start eating your meat mountain.
Cruising with stay.
Fucking meat mountain.
Segment.
Eat your meat mountain. Grab a bite to eat while you're listening to this. It's good.
Yeah, get some burgers. Maybe a nice spread.
Yeah, a nice spread. Maybe some ribs.
Cruising with stay. Health/food segment. The most health-conscious podcast all along the flat earth. The most health-conscious podcast all along the flat earth.
fucking meat mountains?
I'm like, holy fuck, I want to bust down a door and start eating your meat mountain.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So, thanks, Felix.
The glory days.
The glory days.
I've been reading a health manual and it tells you all about the body. And this is like, I hate doing push-ups.
Yeah.
I like to preface with that. I do them, but they're painful.
Right.
They're painful.
They're painful?
But this painful.
Oh, man.
But this book says that all you really need to do to like have good joint health and good muscle health is to do 3 10-minute resistance exercise, or so 30 minutes of resistance exercises over the course of the week, and that's like all you need to do.
Really?
And that's just like, you know, you push your joints and your bones to kind of, you get that resistance, and that keeps them strong. And any more than that, I mean, you can do more than that, but you get to a point where it's like bad for your bones, bad for your joints, bad for your muscles.
Right.
And they mention a lot of those guys that like push themselves to be really strong, like Schwarzenegger and all them. They're like in a world of pain now with like all the stuff that they put their body through with like working out and building up big muscles and
because
rocking their
that
bones.
can't be good. That can't be good having like all that heavy mass on you. Like, you know, a nice lean, trim, muscular, you know, flexible, strong and flexible.
Like yourself.
Yeah, like me. Like basically I'm just describing myself.
But that's like good news. It's like all you do is 30 minutes of resistance exercise all week. You got to be able to fit that in.
Oh, upside down masturbation. That could work.
Oh man.
For joint health?
Yeah. Just general workouts.
That's right.
Man.
So it definitely stretches your back muscles out.
Yeah, what's up with those inversion things? Like, you know, like where you just hang upside down? What's the purpose of that?
To let you hang upside down?
Stretch
out your back, right?
It decompresses your spine too.
Right, your spine.
Man.
If you think about you're upright all day, your spine is like constantly.
Oh yeah, that is true.
I was thinking of getting one, but I read somewhere in a forum one about someone who got like a micro tear in their eyeball from all the pressure that goes into your head when you're upside down. This person got like their eye bulged out of their socket from from hanging upside down. Yeah. So my brother-in-law had borrowed one from a friend of his because his friend broke both of his knees and couldn't really use it. So I tested it out, and it's not all it's worked up to be. Like, I feel like they say you could just do the same kind of stuff like with yoga.
Yeah.
Just horizontal. You can stretch your body out just as much as with an inversion table.
I've never done yoga.
I would only do that to decompress my spine. You know, maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes a day or less.
Yeah, my dad has one. He swears by it. He uses it like at least every other day.
Wow.
Yeah, I would try. I would start once a week and see if I got any benefit from it, and try maybe I would play with it.
You ever heard of a reverse hyper machine?
No.
A cat?
No.
You talking about a cat?
There's a company that makes a cool one called Rogue Fitness. And essentially what it is it does spinal decompression, but in the process of doing it, you kind of lay on the thing and it stretches out your spine, but it also builds up your muscles in your back. So the idea being if you have lower back or back problems with your discs, you pull it apart and you build up the muscle, and then your body has the ability to start actually rebuilding your tissue in between because it has the space. So if you haven't completely blown shit to smithereens, you can heal. Like bulging discs don't have to bulge forever.
Do you
I
work
want
for
a
them?
shirt that says that.
No,
Yeah,
I just listen to a lot of podcasts that Joe Rogan talks on.
Yeah. That's
What are you, a Joe Rogan fanboy?
Yeah, well, I'm also a UFC fanboy, so when you follow the things that the fighters are doing, and they tend to be very high up on the front line of medicine and training. So,
like that stem cell research.
Oh, dude, if I could go to Panama, you have no idea. I'd be doing what Boss Rutan does, getting a full body stem cell injection.
Inject me
That's
with
what I
them
want.
stem cells. I don't know about that I'd want that.
Have you thought about the ethical considerations of stem cells?
Yeah. Well, aren't there like different ways? Like it doesn't have to be from aborted fetuses.
It's just simulated stem cells. It's probably from my future self anyway.
So they're not they're not like ripping fetuses out of people and taking their stem cells.
No.
Okay. Because I think that's what a lot of people assume.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that's
embryos
back in the old way, and that's that they don't even do that anymore because they found that if you do embryonic stem cells, there's some base programming there, and they will occasionally mutate and start mutating into other cells. But they can create stem cells now that don't have the mutations that the babies do. So,
GMO stem cells.
That's right.
Oh God, it's all GMOs.
Artificial.
What you know? What? Who cares? When it really comes down to it, you know.
Just wait till they start stacking stem cells and vaccines to stop the injuries.
That's just what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Oh, stem cells are really just super vaccines.
They're like AI vaccines in a way.
You know what? It's to update our software. We need software updates every now and then for the simulation.
Well, isn't there a rainbow wave coming pretty soon? It's gonna,
Explain. This sounds awesome. Rainbow wave.
I don't know. That's what people are talking about.
Is this like everybody turns transgender? Because
it's like apparently we have. What did I hear explained? We actually have 24 chromosomes, but because of whatever reason, our 24th pair is folded over, or our something is folded over, so we only have 23 chromosomes, and the 24th is like this magic one where you can make shit disappear and teleport. The god gene or whatever,
like balloon animals.
Sure. So apparently there's a galactic wave of love that's gonna fix that in everybody.
I mean, who knows, man?
I can't say it's not gonna happen. I doubt it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, flying through space. Who knows what kind of strange clouds we could be flying into?
Assuming it comes through the sun. Apparently comes through the sun.
Oh, through the sun.
Okay. Speaking of coming,
Stargate.
Speaking of coming, I got new insights on sperm production and lay groundwork for solving male infertility.
Great. GMO sperm.
Yeah. There's a study out of University of Michigan.
Tastes great, less filling.
Yeah. Tons of protein.
Pineapple.
Pineapple is the key to tasting.
They are just in August, the end of August they came out. Using advanced technologies, researchers have created the most complete catalog of cells in the male gonads. The aim to create sperm in a dish. Nearly 1 in 8 couples in the U.S. face infertility, and about half of those cases can be attributed to semen abnormalities in the male partner. Man, it's always the dude's fault, isn't it?
Yeah, in the bong, sperm in a dish.
Health. It's all about the health.
It's all about the health, dude. The root cause often remains a mystery.
Sperm counts continue to decline worldwide.
It's probably from cell phones, right?
Cell phones, radiation, chemicals.
Yeah.
Well, you remember we're heading towards the Children of Men future timeline.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Dude, I remember being in elementary school and them saying that the yellow 5 color dye in Mountain Dew would kill your sperm.
Right. Yeah.
Here's what's crazy.
It may.
In the entire history of chemical testing, they've tested something like 20,000 different chemicals. Meanwhile, in the U.S., there's something like over 200,000 new chemicals produced every year. So who's testing those? And you find residual chemicals in everything, everywhere, pharmaceuticals in the water. What happens when those chemicals interact with other chemicals? What happens when you use one brand of shampoo next to the other brand of shampoo?
Like the Joker's thing in the first Batman movie.
But not even that. We're doing that anyways, just rolling the dice constantly in the entire environment. Like, dude, they check to check the environment in rivers. They'll take tampons. Sounds crazy, but they take a tampon, they string it in the water, they let it sit, they come back several days later, and they look for the particles that are used in laundry detergent that make your clothes brighter. They actually put a UV fluorescent dye in there that when UV light hits it, it brightens up. So it makes your clothes look brighter because it's glowing. And they look for that. So they just come by with a black light and they can tell if there's runoff from sewage inside of so that's just that's one little thing. So what has us wanting to brighten our clothes done to the environment? It's sticking to a goddamn tampon, which means fish are breathing it in.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, then we have these mass species die-offs. Yeah, exactly. And then anything that they eat, we fish that out and we eat it in the long run too,
Dude, it's everything you pour down your drain, every type of, hand sanitizer, soap.
What do you got, Jared?
Mustard? Everything you eat and piss out, like your body's digesting it, all those preservatives and weird chemicals and dyes, like they don't just sink inside your body.
Think about your body as a still, and you're distilling food and pulling all the good shit out.
Yeah.
And what's coming out of you is the waste, which it couldn't distill. Except your urine can maybe distill some more. But you know what I mean?
Well, dude, your kidneys and your liver take out toxins and then dispose of them through fluids and solid waste. So
it's pure toxin, which goes back into the water table.
Yep.
It's like we purify the toxins over and over again.
Jeez. You gotta cavitate. You gotta cavitate the water.
Cavitate?
Isn't that the word? Cavitate?
I never heard this word.
It needs to be distilled, but they can't distill the sewer water.
Well, they have water treatment plants and shit.
But that's just chemical treatment.
Yeah,
that's the 99% pure water that Graham drinks.
What?
Yeah, cavitated where it just they spin it a certain way, clockwise or counterclockwise.
Oh, that Graham water? That's like quadruple osmosis.
Water,
That's structured water.
Well, that water is even poured over a crystal, if I'm not mistaken.
And now we're from our sponsors.
These things are so great. Why haven't people made water dispensers from your fridge, attachments to the tube?
Yeah, put a crystal in your
why not?
Your water dispenser. Yeah, instead of a filter, you put a crystal in it.
I would trust my filter plus the crystal more.
And so put that into perspective of the fact that there were millions of bracelets with a hologram stuck to the side that people thought could make them lift more. If that crystal worked, there would be one on every single refrigerator in America.
It's like something you get from the McDonald's Happy Meal.
But if you made one and just gave it away, I guarantee 50% of the people would say it worked.
Totally. It's like those you remember those copper bracelet with the two silver balls on the end that people would wear?
Circulation.
Well, it's
they were like magnetic
balance or something your
immune system.
Yeah, go to Sports Authority. You can get copper lined socks that have copper.
Dude, I used to work with wore that. Then he had a necklace for a while.
What are those Japanese pads that go on your feet or something that suck all the toxins out?
Fish?
They're like a little thing that you're supposed to put on. There are things that you can put on or beds you can that ground.
Oh yeah,
through real copper, not through absorbing it. But
those are so gross. Those pads. Oh my god.
I've heard that your feet excrete the toxins. A lot of your toxins. That's one good reason why you should go barefoot, outside and ground.
Why do you think that they're
giving back to the earth?
Epsom salt baths for your feet,
dude. Epsom salt baths for your entire body. And here's what's scary. You absorb the best way to get magnesium is not pills. It's just to take an Epsom salt bath. You absorb it really well and it's a really good quality. Dude, it's everything. When you shampoo, look at your ingredients because that soaks in along with everything else. Whenever I use Mr. Bubble, I think about that.
Mr. Bubble.
And now a word from our sponsors.
I use this organic tea tree oil.
Detoxification foot pads are abrasive foot pads or patches that manufacturers claim dramatically improve health when placed under the feet during sleep.
They may, but the blackening color is a chemical process
Oh, it's a scam.
So guys, I'm going to change gears a little bit.
Woo!
Adam totally lagged out.
We started off with simulated theory, universe theory, and I found kind of a little article that gives a little write up about a couple of other dominant universe theories that are out there, or not necessarily dominant universe theories that you may not have heard of. You want to hear them?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a couple of them are pretty cool. This is called the false vacuum universe theory. You ever hear that one?
No, not at all.
Again, that's false vacuum universe theory. The false vacuum universe theory suggests that our universe is actually in a false phase state as part of a much larger universe, meaning that our own universe and everything we know is temporary and unstable. This idea of the false vacuum that we are in, theorists claim will eventually pop into the much larger universe or the normal state, meaning everything we know in our visible universe will cease to exist almost immediately without warning. So no need to mark your calendar. Some theorists are using this hypothesis to explain the beginning and end to the Big Bang. Using this simple analogy to simplify it, if you don't get it, the universe is like in a car with questionable tires on a road with tons of potholes, driving from a small rural town to the big city where he will hope to join the other universes marching in the billion universe march. Basically, we're on our way to get to the bigger universe and can introduce the idea of higher dimensions.
It's not the same, but that sounds similar to Laird Scranton's research on Dogon and Buddhist beliefs,
which is also the oscillating universe theory.
Exactly.
Or I think they call it supersymmetry.
There's a lot of different ways that it correlates, but it's the idea that there are true veils, that when people speak of the thinning of the distance between two worlds, that it's literal, that there is a spiritual world, there is a physical world. And as these timelines, these forces, these places in the universe come together, the veil gets thinner, and then eventually they'll connect and we'll share a world for a little bit, and the spiritual will become that reality, and then slowly they'll pull away and we'll go into another age, and then the spiritual will disappear, and then we go back into the state of lost and confusion, and the idea is that we are on the way back towards that spiritual.
I could see that. It seems like it's kind of going that way, at least.
Well, Laird is a big believer in tying it into what science says about string theory and where physics is at. So from that perspective, it's really interesting because...
But his going to spiritual doesn't mean mentally. It means physically. Like people will cease to exist.
Yeah, it says that like things could just end because it's like the universe is going toward like an upgrade.
No, it's just a cycle. So people basically... For lack of any terminology to describe, it's like when the cycle begins, all the people, as they die off, nobody reincarnates, put it that way. And all the physical things, the consciousness, whatever, becomes the spiritual, the other side.
The game gets reset, the cartridge gets changed.
Right. And then the balance shifts again, and it goes back the other way. They become the people.
Game was too hard. We switched to easy.
I don't know how I think about that. It's pointless.
They end this article with the fear of death theory, which I don't know. It just kind of basically says that we don't face this idea of death. We just want to make ourselves kind of important. And that's why we come up with these theories. That's why we come up with the simulation theory, because we want to make meaning of it and not face the inevitability of death. I don't know if that's a real theory.
I don't care about dying, so
I think once you accept that death is just a part of life, it's a little easier to deal with. Just know that it's going to happen.
Well, all that avoiding that does is cause worry.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I'm going to die. Okay, yeah, good. So am I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid of it, but I would hate it for my family. That would suck.
Yeah, it's a little weird if somebody asked you if you want to die together. You're like, dude,
Romeo and Juliet style. You first,
Romeo.
Crucio and steak.
The bromance.
It's a bromance.
We could lock arms.
Dude,
Double
we could.
drink.
We totally could.
Bottoms up. Grim tosses it over his shoulder, though. Son of a bitch. Let's start puking all over the place and hit the ground. Oh.
Well, guys, I don't know. I think we had a pretty good
Felix,
show.
you got a jam?
Yeah, we got anything else to
You
wrap
can jam
this up on?
something. I know you got something in the bag, dude.
You just, or you could pull something out of the old catalog.
Could. I know. Felix has always got some type of instrument handy.
Should I just do Starman?
I like
Do
it.
one of your songs, dude.
I haven't been practicing my songs that much.
Oh.
I could play like an instrumental or something.
I like you do whatever you want to do.
I think you should
Play us out. I don't know what that means to play us out.
while James raps us out.
Oh shit. All right. Yeah, you all right, okay. Oh man. If we could hit pause. Let me find something good. You guys want some like hardcore?
Yeah, let's hit pause on this live broadcast.
Let's see. See if I can pull this off. I don't know. Let me think. I am going to get some lyrics because I'm not on the top of my game lately to come up with stuff off the fly, but let me get something here and then you can play something and I'll try to mix it in the best I can.
James and Grim stay. I really wanted to let you know that I'm really touched by your bromance. Oh, I'm really touched by your bromance. I'm really touched by your bromance. I'm really touched by your bromance.
Love it.
Okay. That was beautiful, by the way. Man, I love all that you do to help this show, dude.
Thanks, Felix.
Huge part of it, dude, for sure. Molding the flow and the style and the love that's put into it. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro. You're muted right now, bro. You're still muted.
I love you, Grimsteak.
Oh, you're back now.
So beautiful. Marry me, James.
Almost. I would if I could.
Wow.
You make me so horny.
But it would be like an open relationship, like me, Grim.
Oh yeah, dude. It'd definitely be poly.
Yeah.
I'll just write the love songs.
Totally.
That's all I need.
You guys can use them.
Oh.
Isn't there a Neil Diamond song like I write the songs? That was Barry Manilow, wasn't it? I write the songs.
I write the songs that you make.
No, I'm sorry. You should learn how to play that.
Barry Manilow?
Yeah, it's a good tune. I write the songs. It's called.
All right, maybe next week I'll play it.
Oh man,
I'll try and learn it too. We could do a duet.
Oh man,
Let's sync it up. I played on banjo.
My banjo's fucked up.
Oh,
and I got a new guitar, so
nice.
But Ibanez.
Well, guys,
you got any t-shirt mail?
No
t-shirt mail.
I looked at my orders on T Fury. There's like 8 shirts they haven't sent yet.
Man,
I don't even remember what I bought. I mean, this is over the last 3 months. They're kind of backed up, apparently.
T-shirt / ASMR segment next week.
I mean, I got a song here, so if you want to throw down an instrumental, something a little fast, not like super fast, but fast enough with
guys for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome,
Thanks, Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. Check out Mente.
I'm going to request next week that James Cruz sings Mac Lethal.
Mac Lethal. I'm writing it down. Maybe that could be a thing.
How about this? Mac Lethal Pancakes. Start there.
Whoa. Pancakes. Okay. I can't hear you though, dude. Crank it up. Now, here's a little story I've got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well. It started way back in history with Ad Rock, MCA, ME, Mike D. Been a little horsey named Paul Revere. Just me and my horsey in a quart of beer. Riding across the land, kicking up sand. Sheriff's posse on my tail because I'm in the man. Only little B.I.B. All about self, but nobody. In the sun, beating down on my baseball hat. The air is getting hot and the gear is getting flat. Looking for a girl. I ran into this guy. His name was Grim Snake. I said howdy. He said hi.
Told a little story that sounded well rehearsed. 4 days on the run and that he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand and he was on my tip. The voice was hoarse, my throat was dry, and he asked him for a sip. He said, "Can I get some?" I said, "You can't get none." He had a chance to run, so he pulled out his shotgun. He was quick on the draw, and I thought that he'd be dead. Pulled out the gun to my head, and this is what he said.
Now, my name is MCA and I got a license to kill. I know you know what time it is. It's time to get ill. Now you know what to do with the outlaw and his beer. I ran into this land and you understand to make myself clear. When I stepped into the blend, he had a gun. I had a grin. You look into the stories and but it's ready. You look into the, you think the story is over, but it's ready to begin.
Now I got the gun and you got the brew and you got choices of what you can do. It's not a tough decision to see. It's not a tough decision. It's what you can see. I can blow you away or you can ride with me. I said, I'll ride with you if you can get me to the border. The sheriff's after me for what I did to his daughter. I did it like this. I did it like that. I did it with the wiffle ball bat. So I'm on the run. The cops got my gun. And that's about when it's time to have some fun. The King's Ad Rock, and that's his name. I know the fly spot where they got the champagne. We rode for 6 hours and we hit the spot. Beat was a bumping and the girlies was hot. This dude was staring at like he knows who we are. We took an empty seat next to him in the bar. He said, "Yo, you know this kid?" I said,
I do, but I know he did. Get ready, because this ain't funny. My name's Mike D and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the jammy and aimed it at the sky. He yelled, "Stick him up," and he let two fly. Heads went up and the people hit the floor. He wasted two kids that ran for the door. I'm Mike D and I get respect. Your cash and your jewelry is what I expect. MCA was at it with the MCA was with it and he's my ace.
So I grabbed the player and I punched him in the face. The piano player is out and the music stopped. The boy had beef and he got dropped. Mike D grabbed the money. MC snatched the gold. I grabbed two girlies and a beer
that's cold.
Dude, I was trying to sing this song to Angie earlier today. I was way. Yeah, dude, we were talking about Licensed Ill, how it was one of my favorite songs.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah, thanks, Felix.
Oh man, thank you guys.
How about that, dude? How about that fucking rap? Rap.
My God, I'm sorry for your ears, people.
No,
we tried, dude. On the fly.
Did it match up?
I had the beat, and then I heard you stop, and I tried to mix it a little bit in the beginning, but I mean, I'm sitting here screaming into the mic, and then I lost it.
Dude, the mic, the rapping overpowered it, but it was great.
Yeah.
Oh man!
How about that shit? Yeah.
That's a great way to go out on the show.
Yeah.
So
nice. And I'm not Mike D at all, but he is one of my idols growing up for sure.
That's one of the greatest albums of all time.
Yeah.
Let's do some plugins.
I love it, man.
Adam, where can people find you? What's going on?
Oh, yeah, catinthebox.space and participate in the show. Remote viewing. If you don't know what it is, catinthebox.space.
Check it out. Jerry, where can people find you?
People can find me on YouTube. You go to noxmente.com, noxmente.com. And all our links are there and all our shows, and it's our RSS. Just basically Google it, you find it. We're everywhere.
Beautiful. Pseudo James, Felix, Cliff Wall.
Pseudo James.
Where can people
Sir
find
Felix. You can just find me on Bandcamp. So I'm at sirfelix.bandcamp. So Sir Felix, SIRFELIX.bandcamp. Go buy some songs. You could pay whatever you want. Some songs are there for $1, but you can pay $5 if you're feeling generous. I got a new album coming out eventually, slowly working on some songs. Slowly.
Some fun Christmas music up there I've got. Should go get it too.
Slow and low. Let yourself go.
Very great, guys. Well, thank you all.
Smell my toes.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to talk about One Piece for the next hour on request of Ryan from Kansas.
A cod piece?
It all starts. There's this young boy. He wants to become a pirate. He wants to become the king of the pirates by finding the One Piece. So no, we're not doing this.
Tune in next week to find out.
Yeah, Grim's Anime Hour. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, it was fun, man.
Later. Thanks.
All right, goodbye.
Somehow I built a rocket ship out of the stuff dreams are made and popsicle sticks. Please look at my rocket ship schematics. Tell me it can fly to the moon. Tell me I'm not a lunatic. I bet you think I'm a space cadet. I bet you think I'm a space cadet. No regret, I do not fret, 'cause I am a space cadet. In my hands I have a gas can and matchsticks. Yes, Earth is my home, but I need a vacation from all the sadness, the chaos, and dramatics. I'll let you do the countdown. 3, 2, 1, no hesitation. I bet you think I'm a space cadet. I bet you think I'm a space cadet. I bet you think I'm a space cadet. No regret, I do not fret, 'cause I am a space cadet. No regret, I do not fret, 'cause I am a dreamer. Look at my rocket ship fly by, trailing behind a silver streamer. I do not fret, 'cause I am a space cadet. No regret, I do not fret, 'cause I am a dreamer.